Okay, I just got done taking photos for my brother for Holy Donuts, and he has me going home with a whole box of fall donuts, which is super exciting. I know AJ is going to be obsessed. But on my way back, I was like, you know, I haven't really caught up with you guys about miscarriage stuff. The day you're watching this actually is going to be a year since we found out about our second miscarriage, which to me was the most significant day of my life, I think. And obviously, the first time I miscarried, I thought it was significant, and it was. The second time was just so different, and it cut really, really deep. And so to make it to a year for AJ and I, we just feel so blessed, and I just feel so relieved that we're okay and that we made it through a year of this reality of being the person who has 2 miscarriages. Like, it's just never, it's not a title you ask for or that you pick or that you ever want. Going a year with this reality has been a big milestone, honestly, because it changed me in a lot of ways. I kind of wanted to chat about it because all of 2024, like, our whole life was consumed with trying, getting pregnant, miscarrying, trying, getting pregnant, miscarrying. And after you do that 2 times in a row in a year, it's so much. So to take this 2025 off has been amazing, but it also has made me really distant, and like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, I almost am trying to like ignore it, and I'm normally not like that. And you guys know, like, and I'm never like not wanting to like talk about it, but it almost feels like I can't believe that that happened to me. So anyways, I have my mug of coffee that I bring everywhere, and I thought we'd just catch up. Like, you're in the car with me on the way home, and you're asking how things are going now that it's been a year. I had a whole different video planned. I don't know, it was just gonna be more like outline, more points, but it just didn't feel right. I think partly because I almost don't even want to talk about the miscarriages in a solo video like this. Like, I've mentioned it here and there in videos, and that's kind of how it is in my life. It always is sprinkled around in a conversation, but to have a sole video be about this just feels so heavy because it's not for sympathy. That's what I was telling AJ. I was like, I don't even want to like talk about it because I don't want to make people feel bad for me, anything like that. It just is more talking through the feelings and like bringing awareness to what happened, I guess. And did I mention too that October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month? So I thought that also kind of led me to post. I felt like I needed to kind of get our baby's voice out there, especially to the moms out there who also are in my same position. It just really, life is mostly on social media about pregnancy announcements, birth announcements, baby showers, you know, so it feels good to have something out there that's for us, that's like, this is our reality, this is, I'm a woman like you know what I mean? I don't know. So anyways, let's catch up as friends and talk about how things are going. So if you were to ask me how I'm doing, I would say I am doing good. Definitely the fall time brings back a lot of emotions. I think that's been like the hardest part, is like this time last year I was pregnant from September to the end of October, and then at the end of October found out we were miscarrying, and then thought I was going to have a baby in November. Then I turned 29 and I was just like a wreck because I thought I'd have a baby, be pregnant with a baby. Christmas was rough and had a DNC a week before Christmas. Like, this time last year, everything just fell apart. It's funny how your body and senses know that and remember what the environment was like when you were falling apart. It's been such a good year, such a good summer. Summer has been amazing. It's been busy. It's been a lot of work. It's been colorful, which has been so great. And it's been so nice to have distance from anything pregnancy, miscarriage, babies. Like, I mean, we haven't had any like much distance from like some of those things, but for me personally, at least, like, we haven't been trying. We haven't been even talking about trying, except for towards the end of the summer. And now we're kind of like, okay, we need to sort of talk about this because our year of not trying is coming to an end. What are we gonna do? And that just feels so daunting to both AJ and I. AJ can hardly even talk about it. I can hardly even think about the fact of being pregnant again. I remember thinking that when I was pregnant the first time. I was like, I can't imagine like trying for baby number 2 and like going through this nausea, like, this is terrible, and not knowing that later that year I would go through it again, and not only go it through again, but go through it while miscarrying our second baby. It was just like, it's kind of depressing thinking about the thought of trying again, and I just feel like I want more time. I wish I had already had a 1-year-old. Like, in November we should be celebrating our 1-year-old baby's birthday, and we're not. Or I should have, you know, however many month old right now, and we're not. And so the thought of pushing it even further is annoying, but the good thing is it doesn't bother me as much as it did before. I think I was so panicked of like the timeline, and that had to be my timeline. It had to be as soon as I wanted it to be. Now I really don't feel that pressure anymore. It's going to happen in God's timing, and the phrase that I have for this year is in due time. It doesn't say, you know, in an early time or as quick as possible. It's in due time, it will happen. And there's nothing wrong with anytime. Obviously, I just want AJ and I to be as healthy as we can be, as mentally and emotionally healthy as we can be, and that's what I want. But I honestly like can't even think about the concept of trying. This is all just like my thoughts right now. It's only October. We have so many months to change our mind. This is just where I'm at right now, and I don't know the plan. And I think that's the thing, is like, after taking a year off, I've really enjoyed it, and I've really enjoyed not feeling rushed and pressured. And now I'm probably going to be more behind than I ever would imagine for myself or plan for myself, but I feel content about it for the most part, you know? There's some things that I didn't expect that would happen when you have 2 miscarriages, and one of the things that's carried over is I swear a lot now. I never used to be a swearer, only when like things got super intense or I got super angry or like it just kind of came out. But now I swear a lot and at like random things, and it's such a bad habit, but I think just the anger and it's like this fire, this like, it's quick to like go over that ledge, and swearing just feels like I can like let it out, you know? So I'm working on that. I also, after 2 miscarriages, developed phone addiction. I feel like we all kind of have it, but it was just a distraction from my life, you know, nice to get away and feel like I could escape, and so I'm working through that. When I have bad days, they get so bad so fast. Like as soon as a couple things happen, like I hit this point, it just plummets down. And ever since the miscarriages, I've been like that. I'm so quick to go to worst case scenario, and not just like thinking of worst case scenario, but like having this belief that it will happen, that the worst thing will happen to me. It's actually honestly a very like, it's terrifying thing. I've never felt so scared, feeling like everything bad is going to happen to me. I feel so scared. And I think when you have something like 2 miscarriages happen inside of you, if this happened inside me, what can happen outside of me? I think that's why I kind of developed, I don't want to say online shopping addiction, because I definitely didn't have that, but in the beginning I would shop around. I wanted to finally get stuff for our home. I wanted to find deals and get stuff, and I think that retail therapy can feel like you can finally control something and get what you want, and it feels really satisfying to finally get what you want. Again, I hardly really, it was more just like the hunt and the searching and stuff like that. I still have a lot of residue from the miscarriages that I'm dealing with now. Like, I don't think people realize too, like some of the traumatic things that happen when you have a miscarriage to the outside world is just this thing that there was a baby and now there's not, and you know, you had like a bigger tummy and now you don't. But it wasn't like that at all, and I don't want to get into obviously like graphic details, but like, from my experience, the first time, you know, miscarrying naturally, I mean, that was like a crazy thing that happened, you know. And even just with the DNC and like the partial molar, like it just is like so much. Yeah, it's just a lot. Again, like I've said, like the thought of trying again is just, I have loved not dealing with this. I've loved not facing this. And for us, again, signing up for getting pregnant just has equaled a terrible time, and I just like don't know when we'll be ready to sign up for that again. But I don't feel rushed anymore, which has been really nice. Like I don't feel panicked about it. I just don't know if I'm ready, because I really want it to be different. I want to be different when we try again, and I need to give space between like the 2. Again, I feel like I'm just like collecting my thoughts now. I wish, again, they were more collected. That's kind of where I'm at. I do kind of want to bring up this analogy that I think is so beautiful. I don't know if you guys have seen Severance. Skip here if you don't want any spoilers. I definitely will be giving spoilers away, so skip it and don't blame me if you get it spoiled. But the wife in the movie ends up finally getting pregnant after trying, and AJ and I, when we were watching it, we were like, oh my gosh, there's pregnancy everywhere. You don't even realize it until you have a miscarriage and you're like, I can't escape it. But she ends up having a miscarriage in the show, and AJ and I were not expecting that. It was just so beautifully filmed. I highly recommend watching that episode. It's so beautifully done and documents just the hope and then the pain and the loss and like the tragedy of what happens when you go through a miscarriage, especially when it was like a deeply wanted baby. In the movie, because of the technology they're doing, they need to test if it works where it can block your memories, essentially. The biggest thing she has to do to prove that this technology works is build a crib, and if she could build this crib and take it down, it would prove that the technology was strong enough to overcome even that the worst emotion she had been through. I just feel like that is such a beautiful representation of miscarriage and how deeply it affects a woman. I just want to share that with you. If you haven't gone through a miscarriage, for the people in your life who have, to kind of view it like that. For you, if you have gone through it, just is so validating to see it depicted as something that is so powerful and so strong that they were like, this is the thing that's going to prove if it works, because this affected her so much that this proves that if it can block out this, it can block out anything. As I've been going about my life this past year, I think I've had to build the crib and take it down, build the crib and take it down. And in the beginning, it was so hard. You're just forced with things that you have to do. You have to go to baby showers, people get pregnant, the babies get born, you're faced with the reality of life not going the way you thought, and like just all these little things that happen that is symbolic of building the crib and putting it and tearing it down. And it feels like it's like mocking you, you know? Like it can feel so stupid and so tragic to constantly have to do that and face that. And that's kind of what it feels like has been this year, but it's felt like it's gotten easier-ish. And again, I think I've just come to peace with that. The crib is under our bed right now. That's our reality. God has been so good to us in filling our time with really fun, good things. He's just been so good to us. Like God has been so good in this time, and we haven't gone without, even though we felt such a lack and like a hole in our hearts from the babies we lost. God has filled that with things right now, but it can sometimes feel like what Age and I are doing right now doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel as purposeful as like raising our family, starting our family, having a baby. It feels like it's just like we're killing time or something, but that's not true. Like, what we're doing now matters a lot. If I had to give advice to anyone going through this, or to my past self, I guess, I would say that there's such a blessing to having lost something. Our babies, because they're not here, their absence pushes me to fill it with beautiful things. I feel more motivated to make a beautiful life and like live in honor of their life and make my life better. And so I think they have made me appreciate life more. I don't take life for granted. Even like the loss of something, even so small, leaves room for even more love to grow. I've just felt so grateful for that. I wouldn't say that the sharpness of the loss is duller, because it still is so sharp when I remember it, but it does get less frequent, and you can kind of go on living, and it isn't at your throat all the time like it is right away, but it's still, when it does like hit, it's still sharp. But I just remember it feeling like it was constantly stabbing me all the time, and it was like, how can I go on like not talking about this, not thinking about this, not like dealing with this? And you do, which is crazy, but you do, and you have to. And it's nice to know that it does lessen, but it still is sharp when you think about it. And the other thing that's really been comforting me during this time is that because of our babies and what we lost, it will make us better parents. It's made Age and I have an even better marriage. We will be better parents to our babies because of the babies we lost. That is so exciting. I truly think that it is making me not idolize motherhood, make it about myself or about things that don't matter. It's made me have a more realistic view of motherhood, because it is so selfless and out of your control. It's just not about me or how it looks on social media or what I want. There's so much about being a parent that I will look at differently because we went through this. And that is really encouraging to me, because it makes me grateful for our babies and feel like they get to be a part of their siblings' life, and they get to better the life of their siblings, which is really cool. Oh, that was probably so rambly, but I'm really glad we had this chat. I feel like it was due time to check in on this. It's depressing and it makes me sad, and I don't know, I'm not normally one to like not talk about things, but with this, I just have been not able to really like dig deep. It's felt sort of sensitive recently, and so yeah, but I'm glad we caught up. This is where I'm at. If you are going through something like this is kind of, I hope, relatable to you, of like, this is how I'm doing a year after this. And yeah, I just hope you found some comfort in how I'm doing, how well I'm doing, I'm not well I'm doing, all that stuff. I will say, I should have put this at the beginning, but I do not want any tips. That honestly stresses me out, and you need to know that after going through 2 miscarriages, after just going through 1, you look into everything. After going into 2, I've looked into absolutely everything. I've heard it all, I've researched it all, I've talked to doctors about it, I've read books about it. Like, I'm not asking for tips, what to eat, what not to do. Like, that is just, I don't need that, and it stresses me out, and I already feel like I'm doing and have done so much wrong. It's just not helpful. I'm not in the place that I need advice on this. And I know that you all mean well, who's, you know, giving me advice and tips and stuff like that, but I'm just not in the place right now where that's what I'm looking for or need or anything. So please and thank you, that would mean a lot, because it literally does like stress me out seeing like, oh well, don't do this and don't do that, and you're ask your daughter about this and that and whatever, and it's like, I know. I probably have, and I will, and I already know about it, and I've heard all the story. Like I genuinely, trust me. I've heard about it, but I know you mean well, so I don't take offense to that, but it's just not really helpful to me right now. I do have to get back and edit those photos though. Hope you enjoyed this little chat a little bit. I'd love to have more heart-to-hearts, kind of simple like this. I tend to, you know, love a good, fun, edited video, but sometimes it's good to just have a little chat and have it be real and raw. And so I hope this wasn't too sad. Honestly, I don't even know what I even just said, so hopefully it made some sense. But I will see you next week in a very fun video, much more fun than this topic, but this is life, you know what I mean? Like, this is life, and there's good even in this situation, and I've seen that. But right now I'm a little sad, and I know when I actually hit the year milestone, I think it's like I said, gonna feel rewarding, but also a little bittersweet. Our life just changed so much a year ago, and I hate it, but I also don't, you know? Like, I wouldn't change it. Oh, sorry, wouldn't change it either, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is I just like wouldn't change it, which is so weird. Like, it's so weird, but okay. I love you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the Laundry Chat if you haven't already. I put out videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you guys in the next Laundry Chat.